The second major championship of the year is upon us. Welcome to the U.S. Open Preview Show. I'm Amanda Balionis, and this is Joe Cowart. It's nice to see you here, buddy.
I'm happy to be here. Looking forward to the U.S. Open. Chambers Bay has turned out to be one of the most talked about venues in quite some time, with a challenging layout and quirks that we don't often see on the PGA Tour. At a major championship, it's even better.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say we have no idea what to expect this week, but entertainment, it's guaranteed. And when all is said and done, someone will be crowned the 2015 U.S. Open champion. So let's take a look at the course that to this point has stolen the show.
It's a Robert Trent Jones Jr. design. This course is only 8 years old, and when you think about some of the features that it will show on this golf course, they can play the first hole and the 18th hole as a par 4 or a par 5.
Something we don't often see, right? And we can change that in the middle of the week. One day it could be a par 4, the next day a par 5. So part of that quirkiness that we've been talking about.
It'll still play to a par 70, and one example is the basement, which is a huge bunker entering the 18th green.
Yeah.
And if you are in the base of that bunker, you're in trouble.
It's over 7,500 yards. It's the first time that it has played host to a major championship, but it was at the site of 2010 U.S. Amateur. And now when you think major championships, you gotta think Rory McIlroy, right? World #1, already has a U.S. Open title under his belt. And more so than the course layout, maybe, I think the big question for the Northern Irishman is he in competition form?
That's the biggest question coming off back-to-back miscuts in Europe. The last time we saw him, he won twice here, but McIlroy decided to take a break from the game, and he said during the media day that he's coming in relaxed and he's ready to play.
Rory McIlroy be teeing off with Martin Kaymer and Gun Yang, the reigning amateur champion, at 8:28 local time, so that's 11:30 a.m. Eastern time, and then 2:28 local time on Friday. All right, so we've already talked about world #1 Rory McIlroy, but you also have got to talk world #2 Jordan Spieth, reigning Masters champ. He's got to be at the top of your list because when the Golden Child, the best nickname on the PGA Tour, sets his mind to something, more often than not, he gets it done. So for you, where does Spieth fall in this conversation?
Coming off a T3 finish at the Memorial, played very well at Muirfield Village, and also maybe has a little bit of a leg up. His caddy looped at Chambers Bay,
yep.
Michael Geller. So that's a huge advantage for him, I think, coming into this week.
By the way, Geller, during the 2010 USAM, was on the bag for Justin Thomas, just to give you an idea of just how small this golf world is. So Jordan Spieth will be playing alongside Jason Day and Justin Rose. I think this is going to be one of the most fun pairings to watch on Thursday and Friday. They will be teeing off at 2:17 p.m. local time and 8:17 a.m. on Friday morning.
7:30, just after that local time, we'll see Phil Mickelson along with Bubba Watson and Angel Cabrera going off #1 tee. Is that a powerhouse trio of golfers to watch on day one?
Well, and of course, Phil Mickelson coming off that Sunday 65 in Memphis. Nobody wants the U.S. Open title more than Lefty does. Another very, very talked about grouping, that would be Tiger Woods, Ricky Fowler, and Louis Oosthuizen. And nobody has any idea how Tiger Woods is going to come into Chambers Bay. He is all over the map in regards to scoring, but one thing is for sure, he's going to have the cutest bag out there because his kids, Sam and Charlie, surprised him with the cutest head covers early for Father's Day, and he said those will be with him all week long in Washington.
That's a nice touch. Maybe it'll motivate him a little bit. Also, a couple of the other notable pairings, Dustin Johnson along with Adam Scott and Sergio Garcia. We look at this group, one major among the three, and maybe somebody else can break through.
All right, now it is that time when I make the pick. I'm going to stick with my gut instinct in Justin Rose. I loved the way that he's been talking and playing recently. His game is on point. The dude loves playing in June and July. Already has a U.S. Open title under his belt. He just said you have to really get up. You have to be excited and ready to play. And I think a lot of players are maybe more intimidated by Chambers Bay. Justin Rose, I think, is pretty much saying, bring it on. Let's do this.
It's such a unique golf course. It's really hard to dial in one type of guy.
Yeah.
And for the link setup, which is more bowl-shaped than anything else, it's not straight away, I'm going to go with Bubba Watson. He used to carve everything around a bowl. He hit an unbelievable putt earlier this week when he was practicing, so why not another major championship for a guy who can hit it long and also is pretty crafty.
You think he can go out and win something other than a green jacket?
I don't know. We're going to find out.
Joe Cowart's calling it. Bubba Watson. I like it. Okay, here are your air times for the U.S. Open coverage this week. All right, so for the first time, Fox is going to be broadcasting the U.S. Open. It's really exciting stuff. They are going to have drone coverage for the first time ever in golf. Very, very cool. So on Thursday, they will be kicking off coverage at noon Eastern time on Fox Sports 1, then flip over to Fox for some primetime golf action. Who doesn't love that? Beginning at 8 p.m. Eastern time. Thank you so much for joining us for the U.S. Open preview show. I'm Amanda Balionis. This is Joe Cowart, and enjoy the U.S. Open.